Hey folks, Ray from loveyourrv.com. Today's video I'm going to go through a bunch of different mods, little mods I've made to the RV over the years, and just update you on them, let you know how they turned out, whether I still like them or not, and what's up with them. I'll link to all the unique mods in the description if you want to go check them out in more detail. Anyway, let's get to them. So the first mod I have to update is my ground solar panel mod. So this panel I can move around in any direction when I'm boondocking. It gets wired into the solar controller in my battery bay with this heavy-duty cord. It's actually a 30 amp power cable for the RV that I cut and spliced, and I use the cord's connectors to plug, make a really good connection, and it sits nice and flat. And then for mounting, I carry it in my truck toolbox, and for mounting I installed on the back some aluminum brackets here and stainless steel hardware. I haven't had any dissimilar metal oxidation or anything, and this is going on a couple years now. I've had this mod going, so it's worked out really well. So let me mount it on the box and I'll let you see how I travel with it. So you can see I just dropped the bolt studs through these holes I put in the lid and do up the wing nuts. And it's nicely secured to the box there. You can lock it in with these things here, keep people from getting in there and taking it. And it sits just perfectly in my truck, so I can actually use it while I'm traveling as well. So that's been a really good mod. Next is my flagpole holder on the front of the rig. I like to have this in the summer time, put a fish or a flag on it. It also kind of helps people from walking into the hitch, because this thing, you walk into this, you can really hurt yourself. It doesn't move and it's got sharp corners. So I just took a piece of wood and painted it, and then mounted the holder on top. And then with just a simple ratchet strap, it really holds it on there firm. And then I can also pop it off when I don't need it and I'm traveling. So that's worked out good. Another thing I've modded is I've added a lot of reflectors to the rig. Just to keep, especially when we're camping in parking lots like casinos and stuff, there's a lot of traffic around. And also, same thing, it helps people see the thing. So I put some reflective tape around here and on the sides. I also have them on my slides there when they're out. And we'll just go around here and I'll show you the side and the back. Just down here I put them on the stairs on the side. And then last year, just for our own use, I put the reflective tape into the stair treads that are kind of sunk down there. And it's been a good year now, and no problem, they're not peeling up or anything, so kind of makes it easy when you're getting in and out to see where the black tread is. And then on the back, just let me put that screen back up for the window. There we go, you can see the tape on the back bumper too. People can see at night when they're coming up, and on the slide over here. So I've had that tape on for a couple of years now, and it's stayed solid and it's still in good condition, so that's been a good little mod. Next mod update I have for you is my fenders on the side of the Cougar here. About 2 years ago I did this. They were starting to crack, especially where the screws go through here. So I pulled off the fender, and behind there I put in a metal shim, the thick heavy washer. And then on the front I put in these grommets and put them back together. Also filled all around here with a marine adhesive sealant called Sikaflex 291. And it's been fine. This is now 2 years and no problem. They're nice and solid, and I've had no further cracking to them. If I had left it alone the way it was going, they were probably going to, each of those little holes was going to start cracking worse and worse, and eventually the fender would rip right off. So good mod there. Another successful mod has been the storage bay shelf here. So I was having problems with the way they put the wood shelf in there. They used just heavy staples on it, and it was starting to pull away, especially because I like to keep some heavier objects in here, just as convenient for me. So I took it all apart and really beefed it up. Let me just pull that off and show you. There we are, there's the inside. So you can see, use some angle brackets, give it some more extra strength, put some nice rubber in there. I really firmed it up. Before it was sinking all down in this end, but not a sign. So that's 2 years now, and I've hit some pretty rough roads. I think it looks like I had some kind of leak over here. I think maybe I had some kind of cleaner over here and the bottle leaked a bit and caused a little corrosion on the metal, but that's about it. Got a few more for you in the bathroom, bedroom area. First we have this towel rack that I made above the toilet here. It's kind of a wasted space area. So I bought a wire rack and put it against the wall there. All I did is put some screws in and use some of those things for running wires, kind of cable ties that you go to run wires along the wall. And it's actually held up. It's been up there for years, gone through lots of bumpy roads, so it's a good place to store the towels. Saves on drawer space at least. The two bathroom cabinet doors, I upgraded the hinges on them. On this end, made them a spring hinge so that they want to close automatically at a certain point, and also they'll stay open. And I also added magnetic latches. So I think that's been really good, because this cabinet used to often open when we were on the road traveling. I guess I'd come in here and find it open and stuff falling out, but now if it kind of bounces open, it automatically sucks back. And on this I did it because sometimes it would open, and if we were slightly off level, it would want to close all the time and drive Ann nuts when she was doing her makeup or whatever. And now it'll stay open because of that spring hinge. So those have been two good mods that I did. Another mod that's worked out is to add a wireless thermostat to our little space heater that we use in the bedroom here. So this remote, Ann can take to bed, and if she's cold or hot, she can just adjust it. Just go, okay, I'm kind of hot now, and turn that on. And then the heater comes on without having to get out of bed and adjust the heater or anything. And she goes, it's a little too hot. She can just turn it right off like that. And it clicks off. So I was worried about this plug, because this is kind of a cheapy, wasn't a very expensive wireless thermostat thing. So let me just take that apart and we'll see if there's any sign of this overheating or any problems with the connection. We used it all winter last year, so it's had a good amount of use. So we'll see if anything's burned or scarred or looking like it's starting to melt down or anything. So I did see on Amazon someone had a problem with these, and it had all melted the case. So let's take it apart and have a look. Well, the inside looks okay on mine. You can see there's where the plugs go in. No signs of overheating or anything. I think probably what happened on the one I saw melted is maybe one of these connections failed and got a high resistant connection, and then it melted all the plastic down. Or maybe one of the solder joints cracked, but looks okay on mine. Last year I modded the LevelMate Pro. This is a thing comes on an app on your phone to help you level the trailer. And it's mounted up here. I have it mounted up in the bedroom. And what would happen is it wouldn't really go to sleep properly, and it would wear out its internal battery quite quickly. So I took it all apart and I installed this on-off switch. I added a little battery holder in there and then wired in the switch, so I can easily turn it on when we're traveling and I need to use it, and then when we're stationary and I don't want it just sucking the battery down, I can just turn it off. And since then, the new models all come with an on-off switch, but this was before their first generation model didn't have that. And a lot of people complained about them eating batteries. So ever since I put that switch in, I'm on the same battery. It's been a year now, and it still has good life in it, so that saved me from going through batteries all the time. Weather station. So I modded the power for the weather station. This particular weather station came with a little wall plug that you had to plug into AC power. It actually worked on 5 volts AC input, but it did have a battery power. But what I did is I took it apart and I found out where the AC was converted to DC, and I found out I needed 7 volts to power this. So I bought myself a little, what they call a buck converter, and I installed that in behind this. So let me show you. This comes off the wall here. Right in there. So where the batteries used to be, I used some silicone and put the buck converter in there. And this one's adjustable, so I set it for 7 volts, and then I wired in inside the unit. I took it apart and wired in to where the 7 volt supply would have come from rectifying the 5 volt AC supply. So basically I have the correct supply for my weather station, but now I don't have to worry when I'm off grid or anything plugging it into an inverter or trying to run this off of battery power. It's just wired straight into my rig's battery supply. So yeah, it's always on. It doesn't take much power at all, but then we don't have to worry about changing the batteries or having to plug this in. It just sits on the wall and works. So that mod's been going about a year and a half now, and no problem, it's been working fine. So it's turned out to be a pretty good little mod. Next is the furnace door mod that I did last summer. So this used to be screwed on. I had some magnets there and there, making it really simple for me to pop it in and out like that. And also I added this filter material here for the cold air return to trap hair and all kinds of dust that might get in there, because this thing in there used to fill up with quite a bit of dust flowing through the furnace, and then it would flow back out into our living space again. So it hasn't affected the furnace operation at all. I have quite a big cold air return, and this filter passes air pretty good, so I didn't have any problems with the furnace cutting out or having overheating or anything like that, which could have been a problem if you blocked too much air going in there, but it worked out really good. And I just have it on there with some Velcro so I can pull it off and clean this if I want. So that worked out really well, because in the winter I have a turn off over here to turn the gas off for my little buddy heater port that I put in, so that it makes it easy for me to get in and out. And actually you can hide things in there sometimes if we leave the rig and I want to put sometimes I'll just throw my laptop in there, so if someone breaks in, at least they don't find my laptop right away or anything valuable. So it's kind of a neat little hidey hole, easy to get at. People wouldn't think of it. Another little mod that's worked out really well is the stove sparker. There used to be a turn dial here, and it made quite a racket in the morning, and I'd end up waking up Ann. So I put this electronic one. It's kind of a barbecue starter. So now it's really quiet, just like that. Light the elements. This runs off a little battery in there. So let me pop this top and let you see. I did make one mistake when the first one I put in. There it is there. And you can see there's 3 wires coming off the back. The first one I ordered had 4 wires. And so there was an extra wire, and what would happen is the spark would jump between one of these to the port that wasn't covered, and it actually ended up damaging the inside of the original one. So I switched to this 3-wire one and haven't had a problem since. And the reason some people would put in a 4 because they wanted to do their oven. There's a thing in the oven, but I have to go down and light the pilot light anyway, and you really wouldn't want to have your oven gas be on like that, because what could happen is you could have a leak in your oven, and it could fill the oven with gas, and someone could be lighting the stove top, spark, boom. So I keep the oven lighting the traditional way. I have to get the lighter and go underneath and light the pilot light. And the final mod I have for you is for my Viair air compressor. They come with clips like this to go up straight onto a battery. But I cut that cable and installed a plug off of a trolling motor. Let's see in there. And then I took the other end and mounted it into my RV and ran it into my battery system and fused it all properly in there. So now when I need it, I can just plug into a port right here. It makes it super convenient. I'm doing something, just pop it on. Say I want to pump up my bike tire or something. Just like that, I can quickly do it. Or any other tire. A lot of times I have to do the airbag on the front there every once in a while. It needs some air. It just makes it super convenient. Pop that in, plug it in, off I go, rather than messing around looking for a battery to hook up underneath the hood of the truck. But I can still do that if I want, so I kept that option. I really like that little mod. Well, there you go. There's all my little mod updates. Thanks for watching, folks. Like I said, if you want to know anything more in detail, check out the video description, and I'll have links to all the original mod posts and videos. Till next time, Ray from RVlife.com. Happy trails, everyone. Cheers.